Why do I feel like everybody's trying to fuck me?
You never really know a motherfucker's true intentions.
Euphoria Season 3 has officially crossed its halfway mark, and things are getting messy. The latest episode pulled back the curtain on the dangerous lies people tell just to stay alive and get ahead. And the contrast couldn't be sharper. Rue's gritty, shadowy world sitting right next to the glossy, glamorous bubble that Cassie and Maddie are living in. But episode 5? It looks like the bill is finally coming due. Every lie, every shortcut, every bad decision, it's all about to catch up with these characters. So let's break down the trailer, and I'll walk you through my theories on what's coming next. This is Euphoria Season 3, Episode 5, Trailer Explained. Bishop and Rue. The trailer kicks off with Bishop sitting across from Rue, and she looks visibly rattled. The background score instantly caught my attention. It had this eerie, almost Succession-like quality to it. Love that touch. Bishop tells Rue that ever since she showed up, trouble has followed like a shadow. Now here's what's interesting. These kingpin types are supposed to be sharp, calculating, always 3 steps ahead. So how are Alamo and Bishop still not connecting the dots? Every problem traces back to Rue's arrival. She might as well have informant written on her forehead, unless, and this is a thought, they do suspect her and the whole thing is a bluff. Keep your enemies close, make them think they're safe, and then strike. Bishop even admitted that something about her gives him the creeps, though he said it with all the emotion of a brick wall. That deadpan cold delivery is exactly what makes him terrifying. And then comes the gut punch moment. There's someone tied up in the corner, tools laid out nearby, ready to face punishment. By the looks of it, it's the security guard who was on the door the night Lori and her crew slipped through. He's about to pay the price for a mistake that wasn't even entirely his fault. And Rue is watching all of this. You can bet she's picturing herself in that chair. Cassie and Maddie. Cut to Maddie, who is essentially running Cassie's entire operation from behind the scenes, kissing cards, packing clothes, managing orders that are pouring in after Cassie's appearance in Brandon's video. Meanwhile, Cassie? She's just lying in bed, glowing over hitting 50,000 subscribers. There's a clip of Cassie recording a message for her followers saying, "For my fans, I'll do anything." And honestly, that line says everything about where her head is at. She'll go all out for strangers on the internet, but as we see later in the trailer, when Nate is truly falling apart and desperately needs her, she's nowhere to be found. Then there's Brandon asking her what's stopping her from moving in with him. That's a massive red flag wrapped in a pretty bow. Because the moment Cassie steps fully into his world, without Maddie's guidance or protection, she becomes vulnerable. And Cassie dropping the line, "It's not personal, it's just business," to Maddie, after everything Maddie did to build her up. That stings. Jules is shown in her paid apartment, pouring wine with this simmering frustration on her face. And honestly, who could blame her? She gave up her passion, art, for easy, comfortable money. The one time she let her creativity out, she got torn apart for it. No wonder she said to Rue, "You want me, make me yours." She's not just flirting, she's desperate for something real to hold on to. But trouble is brewing there too. The man paying for her apartment found a piece of clothing that isn't hers and confronted her about it. Jules could be on the verge of losing everything. The apartment, the comfort, the security. And when that safety net disappears, leaving art school is going to feel less like a choice and more like the biggest mistake of her life. Nate's apartment is a disaster. Empty bottles, fast food wrappers everywhere, total chaos. He leaves Cassie a voicemail saying, "I'm really counting on you, babe." This is a man unraveling in real time. The tables have completely turned. Remember, it wasn't long ago that Cassie was leaning on him, wanting that extravagant $50,000 flower display for the wedding. And as if things couldn't get worse, Naz's guy is back on his tail. That debt, now reportedly up to $1 million, isn't going away. Despite his best efforts to lay low, Nate is going to get tracked down and beaten again. There's also a brief shot of someone in a photo lineup and Lexi's boss pointing out, "That's your sister." Whatever Cassie is getting herself into, it seems like Lexi is going to end up suffering the consequences, again, through no fault of her own. Story of Lexi's life, honestly. Rue. There's a tense scene of Rue meeting with DEA officers telling them one more chance. At this point, the agency might feel she's been compromised and is no longer useful. But Rue has no choice. She has to keep pushing, because the alternative isn't just danger. It's a minimum of 20 years in prison if she stops cooperating. Meanwhile, Magic, Rosalina's character, is in Alamo's ear warning him not to trust Rue. Now, whether she genuinely suspects Rue or is trying to shift the spotlight off herself is unclear. But if she keeps pushing too hard, Alamo might turn around and point the finger right back at her. The final moment. And then the trailer ends on a knife's edge, literally. Alamo gets right in Kid's face and says, "Tell me the truth," before slamming a knife down on the table. His empire has been shaken, there's a rat somewhere in his circle, and his control is slipping. Everyone around him is under suspicion, and that is a very dangerous place for Rue to be. Episode 5 looks like the point where all the cracks start to split wide open. The groundwork for every character's downfall is being laid out right in front of us. Rue with the target on her back, Lexi suffering for others' mistakes, Nate getting beaten down, Jules losing her apartment, Maddie being left behind by Cassie, and Cassie walking straight into the dark side of an industry that does not care about her. I genuinely cannot wait to see how this all plays out. So that's the full breakdown of the Euphoria Season 3 Episode 5 trailer. If you want more Euphoria content, check out the playlist below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Drop your theories in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think is coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.